Await no longer. Greatness has arrived. Welcome to the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players. Before I even introduce myself, there is some things we got to address. First things first, thank you to the patrons over at patreon.com/makeusbetter for making us better week in, week out. A special thanks to our high tiers, our platinum producer, Corey Hicks, our gold executive producers, Sheldon Benedict and Mr. Mark Moody, our gentleman executive and gentlelady producers, the Dude 427, Martini, Aaron Doherty, David Ray, Jesse Armstrong, James Johnson, Nick Militia. Thank you all so much. And for our new patrons, Tammy and Jared, welcome to the Make Us Better community. Now, with all those thank yous out of the way, we are sponsored technically for this podcast.
Ooh.
And when I mean sponsored, I mean I'm doing this for free because it's for a good cause. And so with that, our friend Kelsey, she is doing a Twitch stream this Sunday, April 22nd. It's a benefit for multiple sclerosis. She's going to be playing games like Fortnite. I'll be joining her from noon, 12 p.m. on the 22nd of April. Check it out. There's going to be giveaways. She's going to be giving away some awesome things like Game Pass out there for people. It's great, and the charity is for a really great cause, so it would mean a lot if you guys and gals could show up, and I know you will, so thank you so much. Yeah. Her Twitch channel is named Kelsey Lynn. I'll put it in the description, 1031. So, again, if you're interested, her channel will be in the description, and, again, put your notifications on there so everything's good and you don't miss out.
Kelsey's a great human being, so just go in there to support her as she's doing this for a great cause is an awesome thing to do.
Yeah, and it's for her father, which is like really awesome. So with that, I'll be there. If that means you guys come, please, that'd be awesome. And hey, I'm your host, Mr. Badbit, Joseph here.
Oh,
and,
hi, Joe.
Hey, how you doing? And that's you. That's my co-host right over there, Kyle. How you doing, Kyle?
I'm good. So a little peek behind the curtain.
Yeah.
We're usually used to seeing each other on the screen.
Yeah.
But Skype's being a real son of a bitch tonight. So I'm looking at your logo, your Badbit logo, and so I can't see your beautiful face.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm looking at a KS logo. So this is great. This is great.
Yes.
So yeah.
You sound beautiful though, Joe, as usual.
Thank you. And it's more like a peek at the curtain. So with that, if you're on YouTube, I'm sorry, gameplay footage is here instead. But hey, you know what? You didn't get to see our faces if you're in your lovely car driving about. So
that's true.
Hey, what's going on? Now, with that said, we have a whole lot of news stories to talk about. We have literally 8 pages of notes to get through and quotes to mess up. So with that said, we're going to talk about God of War. We're going to talk about EA. We're going to talk about Kingdom Hearts 3. But before we do all that, Kyle, what have you been playing?
Well, here's the thing, Joe. I'm in a dry spell when it comes to playing games.
Oh, no.
It's not that I don't have... I'm falling out of love with them. It's just I don't have the drive to play them. And the reason being is I am all about trying to catch up before Infinity War. So I've been watching the MCU movies like crazy because I fell behind. You're supposed to do it like once a week, like a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I just kind of that fell by the wayside. So I've been trying to catch up, and now I've got 4 movies left.
Okay, what movies you got left?
I got all of Phase 3.
Okay. Oh,
minus Black Panther. So
okay, yeah. Well, for me, I did the same thing. Next week, we're gonna have a real fantastic show. Trust me.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
Oh my God, if I was Shu segment is gonna be off the chain. But I'm on board. I've watched them all. I'm gonna rewatch Spider-Man just for the lulz.
Yep.
I've been playing some video games.
Okay,
so,
what have you been playing?
Well, what I've been playing is actually I just got a 4K TV.
Ooh,
just for God of War. Oh man,
I'm so jealous.
I saved up pennies, nickels, dimes, anything I could do, and clocked in extra hours at work, and I got myself a shiny Sony 4K TV. I found it on sale, and I did all the things I could to make this thing not $1,000. So I spent a good $700-ish on this set. Very happy. My wallet isn't. And I played Fortnite for the first time today on the 4K TV. First match. Victory Royale.
Ooh.
And let me tell you, you guys are watching it right now on YouTube. It is some pro status plays I make. It is the first guy I kill. I ding him twice in the head. Bam, dunzo. And then the second guy I kill, I'm in a fort, or he's in a fort, and I just destroy it from under him. And then the rest is history. It was amazing. It was great.
It was all those extra pixels.
Oh, dude, it definitely was. The game looks fantastic in 4K. And then what else? Game looks fantastic in 4K.
Is this your Pro, or you're getting the God of War Pro?
Yeah, I'm playing it on my Pro. We will be getting the God of War 4 Pro as well, because, use warranties at GameStop as much as you can. And yeah, it looks wonderful. The Pro is doing work. I'm in love. I'm in love right now. Seriously. I wanted to do Horizon Zero Dawn, but I didn't have the disc with me, and it was just like a spur of the moment, so I was like, Fortnite. And also in Fortnite, I'm tier 100, so...
Ooh. Is that as high as you get?
Yep, I got the Reaper skin, and now all I gotta do is get the cool glider that has the DeLorean lights, and I'm set. So... It's been
proud of you, Joe.
Thanks. I wish I could say the same. So with that, that's what we've been playing. And let me tell you something. I've been trying to keep calm. I've been trying to get my expectations as leveled as I can. But the media is not helping.
No, it's not. I see your question in like the little rundown.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, I'm not managing my expectations very well. I'm not.
No, me neither. So here's the deal. Like IGN, Polygon, which, love them or hate them, they rated The Last of Us a 7.5. GameSpot. All these major syndicated sites, 10 out of 10. God of War 4. They're saying that this game is a game that's going to define the generation.
I'm getting goosebumps, Joe.
Yeah, Cory Barlog and team have hit it out of the park. The game's beautiful. The game's stunning. I wish I could play it. And I'm not reading any more reviews. Again, it is the highest rated PlayStation game, beating Horizon Zero Dawn. It is right now 95 on Metacritic. Yeah, people cannot get enough of this game.
I personally have not read any reviews. The only thing that I've really watched, other than the tweets, like the small short tweets of people gushing over how amazing the game is.
Yeah,
I watched the Kind of Funny Games cast today, where Greg does his review on it, and they did a great job of not spoiling anything, and everything that he said, seeing the absolute joy in his face talking about it. And if you know Greg Miller and you're a fan of Kind of Funny, you know that one of his favorite games of all time is a Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker on the PSP.
Right.
He put God of War 4 in the same sentence as Peace Walker.
Oh, man.
So,
if
that doesn't get you more hyped than anything else...
Just to hear someone go, here's my favorite game, and God of War is coming there.
It was not even that sure, it's in the same sentence, but it's in the conversation.
Yeah.
There was a thought that crossed his mind that it's close or at the same level for him.
Yeah,
and that makes me so excited.
This thing that separates those two is a comma. You know what I'm talking about? So,
yes.
So, yeah, that's nuts to me, and it's so great to see Sony, again, killing it when it comes to exclusives. People are eating it up. Sony has come out and said, hey, listen, we believed in this game. A couple months ago, we even talked about it, that pre-orders were very low for God of War, and we were getting a little worried. But worry no longer, because Sony says pre-orders are above their expectations for this game. Yeah. That it's exactly what they thought it was going to be, and then some. And yeah, it's hit a fever pitch. I mean, 10 out of 10s. My one thing is it gets me excited, but I know Red Dead's still coming, right? Like, all these other games are coming. And the one thing that I really hope this year is that Sony does get a win, because the past, 4 years in a row, there's been a Sony game in the conversation.
Yeah.
right? You had Bloodborne, you had Uncharted, you had Horizon Zero Dawn. Or was it 3 years? Nonetheless, the last 3 to 4 years, you've had a Sony game in the conversation and a contender for Game of the Year, and even to some sites, their Game of the Year. It's so crazy to see. And then I see a tweet from Ryan McCaffrey, and Ryan is an amazing individual. He has run a beat on Xbox for years now. He's made his career on Xbox. And he had a tweet saying this: Xbox fans are dying to celebrate a masterpiece level exclusive like God of War. Thing is, though, it took Sony 10 years to get to this point where their first party is firing on all cylinders. This work started at the PS3 level. Xbox can/might get there, but it's going to take time. And I really liked that tweet because, what you could say in 150 characters, this tweet encapsulated that. This has been 10 plus years in the making, where Sony was at the PS3 level lost in the woods, right? And they were trying to find themselves, and to now finally see them get it is amazing. It's fantastic. So here's the deal, and I'm going to break the fourth wall here. There was a question that I asked right below this in the show notes.
Yeah.
Do you see that, Kyle? Or are they gone?
I do not.
God damn it, other Joseph. Future Joe wants to demolish this show. Future Joe, see guys, I gotta tell you a little bit of a secret. Future Joe wants this show destroyed because Future Joe, or no, Evil Joe, Evil Joseph is an Xbox fanboy hired by Sean Capri over there at the Xbox Drive to try to demolish good me, the PlayStation me, the me that loves everything PlayStation. I can't let that happen. So how dare you, Sean, trying to dismantle... Here you go.
Come on, Sean.
So with that said, we have them firing on all cylinders. Look at me saving the show. What are 3 things that you think Sony has done in order to get this far? In order to get God of War, Horizon, Uncharted, what has been a few things that come to your mind? Maybe we'll do one after the other. That has gotten Sony this far?
Well, I think the first thing that jumps out to me is Sony really put faith in their first-party developers. They let them kind of do what they do best and cultivate all these different type of franchises, and there's a variety of these franchises, different types of games. Where on the Xbox side, they're all, shooters basically. I can't think of any other Xbox exclusive right now off the top of my head that does not involve shooting.
Or more so than that, doesn't have a multiplayer component to it.
Yeah. Yes. Yep. That's a better way to put it.
Because to me, when I look at the PlayStation 3, I look at it, I think I'm like, you know what? Other than the one thing I would say right here is you're totally right. You nail the nail on the head, or a hammer on the whatever. It's been a long day. You get my bad metaphors. That, they give their developers some time to breathe and do something creative, like Guerrilla making an RPG we would have never thought of. And seeing Santa Monica take another stab at God of War because they want to, and they want to redefine that character. That's awesome. Seeing, Naughty Dog with The Last of Us, again, awesome things we're seeing. And I think it goes to show one major problem with Microsoft is the insane fact that, hey, here's 343. We've made this studio, and they're only going to pump out Halos. This is going to be a Halo factory. Here's the Coalition, and their only job is God of War games.
Gears.
Sorry. Gears of War.
Like, don't take God of War away from me.
I'm so sorry, Kyle. Again, that's Evil Joe. That's Evil Joe that lives deep down inside, right? Hired by Sean Capri to dismantle the show. And here's the deal. They're like, here's the Gears of War hub. That's the Coalition, right? It makes those games feel a little less special, because now I'm like, well, this is just the sausage making factory. You know, like now I know that Halos are going to be here forever. And I think what Sony has a great job of doing is knowing when it's time to end things and move on, or at least let people miss something. You know, so that's my thing is letting it piggybacks yours a little bit. It is letting them do their own thing. What's another thing do you think has gotten Sony to this on this pedestal of amazing first party games?
Yeah, I think they again they listened to what the fans wanted. Like if or at least to a certain extent, like they didn't give up on franchises that didn't do all that well. Like some of these, like God of War, for instance, people got tired of it. You know what I mean? Right. Like, yeah, it was the same game over and over and over again, and there was very little, if any, character development.
Yeah.
So fans were getting tired of that.
And it looks like they had like their ear to the ground and saying, well, okay, this is what people didn't like from Kratos, and so let's try to pivot.
Yeah. And
I think that's more so on Santa Monica, but I think, and I'll help you out here with this, is looking at games like Little Big Planet, like Media Molecule. Those games aren't selling millions of units, but Sony likes them, right? Like what they see is the art in these games, and they keep them there because they could go, listen, hey, you know, God of War 4 is going to pay for Dreams, right? They're going to pay for these beautiful pieces of art that we have. You know, Journey, it was great that it sold 1 million units, but it's really telling how they're like, hey, go do something different and have fun with it, right? And I think that my dog agrees. He just barked. He's like, yep, I agree with that totally, 100%. And I think you're totally right, is they have the ear to the ground and seeing what people really want. To me, also, I think it's learning what you're good at. Like Sony, I think with Naughty Dog and with The Last of Us, with Uncharted, there it goes. My dog agrees with me again. Is the simple fact of, hey, you know what we're really good at? It seems people like the most from us is our third-person games. You know what people really like from us? Our single-player stories. So how about we don't try to make a multiplayer-only, you know, game like we have, or multiplayer focus with like we have with Gears of War or Halo, and try to get them out in the holiday season. I'll let you have that one. You know, and try to compete with Call of Duty and Battlefield. We don't need to. How about people come to us because we have a story to tell? And I think that's a great thing, because all these games, they do have one thing in common. They're all third person, but they all have a brilliant story to tell. And that gets people there. So,
and from different types of characters.
Yeah, they're all unique.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to...
Well, I think the last thing I would say is less on what Sony did right and what Microsoft kind of messed up.
Okay.
Like you said, like Microsoft was killing the game in the 360 PS3 era.
Yeah, they were.
It felt like they could do no wrong. But I felt like Microsoft, they became stagnant and they were very stuck in their ways when they kept on relying on...
Oh, my dog is upset what you just said.
Well, tell Evil Joe to leave for a second. Yeah. They relied too heavily on the Call of Duties and the Battlefield, and they didn't take the time to reach out to these different developers and say, hey, why don't you make something new and cool that for us to have on our place? They put a lot of time and money into 360 being the Call of Duty machine,
right?
The Halo machine,
right?
Like it's not diversified enough, and that's, I think, Microsoft dropping the ball.
Yeah,
to where we are now. And
I think you're totally right. I think your head is in the absolute right direction. Of the 360 was on their peak of their game, and spoiler alert, this is for a Bad Bit video. This is something I again, you might, if you watch a future Bad Bit video, go, yeah, this sounds familiar, but I'll say it right here, hot off the presses. Microsoft didn't need first party games for a very long time, because with the Xbox 360, with the thing that I think is the most important thing about where Sony is now is that they were completely humbled by the PlayStation 3, and it shows by the PlayStation 4 and where they've gone with it. Where, they came out and they go, hey guys, we have this end-all be-all machine, the most powerful console ever, cell processing, backwards compatible. We literally put a PlayStation 2 inside the PlayStation 3 because it's important. And what they learned was, actually, it's not. And actually, you don't need 83 USBs in this machine.
Yeah.
And actually, you need to slim it down because $500, $600 is asking way too much. And well, what happened with the Xbox 360 was $300, $400 starting, right? It was a console for the masses. And what ended up happening was Microsoft didn't need exclusives because Sony exclusives or publishers that were partnering with Sony for a very long time were jumping ship to the Xbox. Like, I remember when they announced Final Fantasy for the Xbox 360. I remember when they announced Grand Theft Auto 4, the guy with the massive tattoo in the middle of the stage showing off GTA 4's logo. These things were staples of the PlayStation brand, and they left for greener pastures. That's the reason why 360 didn't need to do much, because they were taking so much from Sony. With Mass Effect, having the deal with BioWare to the extent of, hey, the first game's an exclusive on, or console exclusive on the 360. You can't get it anywhere else. Hey, guess what? Bioshock is a timed exclusive on the 360. You can't get it anywhere else. We are the place to play multiplayer games and those great RPGs. So then when they were Bioshock 2, Bioshock 3, Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 3 came to the PlayStation ecosystem, so many people were like, well, I didn't play Mass Effect 1 and I can't, so I'm not going to start at 2, or I'm not going to start at 3, or I'm not going to, and so they already had this install base already there. And so these games weren't exclusives, but they acted like it. They were chameleons. And so, it's really funny to see Microsoft do total 180s on these decisions, like backwards compatibility and crossplay, because they were never for it. Because Microsoft was like, no, we're the place for multiplayer. Why would we let you play with a network that at the time was for free and introduce people to a free service? No, we're not going to do it. And it's funny to see where we've gone, and how literally the table's flipped over, right? It's like now Sony is, we have all the exclusives, we have all these deals, and now Microsoft wants to finally play ball. And that's why when I hear people complain about crossplay, it's like, we'll wait and see when PlayStation falls and I'm covering for Sony's ass and Microsoft's on top. Let's see if they're still in the mood to crossplay. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that's where I kind of see things is they didn't need to. And then when the moment arose with the Xbox One and falling the way it did, thinking that mobile was going to be the future and going, we need to do something, so let's make this a media player. That's where Microsoft went wrong. And Sony doubled down on games. And that's where we see it finally paying off is it clicked. Yeah. All these things just clicked. They're like, oh yeah, people actually do want single player. Like Last of Us and Uncharted, Naughty Dog being able to break through the mainstream and casual audiences knowing them like they did Bungie and in Epic. I mean, there you have it, folks.
Yeah.
So that's a long topic, and I'm so sorry. Next time, Kyle, you just slap me in the face. You go, enough is enough, okay?
No, it's good. I enjoyed listening to you.
Oh, you know what? I enjoyed listening to you too. With that said, though, we talk a lot of trash about Xbox.
Yep.
Some people would call us a podcast for the fanboys by the fanboys. But this week, I want to bring...
fits.
If the shoe... Love you, Kyle. This new segment is actually brought to you by our sponsor, another sponsor, the Xbox Drive by Sean Capri and Dave Moore, who doesn't like video games. So let's pop the e-brake. Let's put it in park. Even if you're on the highway, just pop the don't do that.
Yeah, no, please.
Don't do that. Drivers, listen, if you're in the car, don't do that. Okay. So anyway, instead of talking trash about Xbox, right?
Yeah.
We want to be nice. So here's this segment where we're going to talk and we're going to say something nice about Xbox. Are you ready, Kyle?
Hold on, let me compose myself.
Okay.
Okay, I think I'm good.
All right, and the segment starts now.
All right.
Okay, on to our next segment.
Oh my god. All right. I had no idea that was happening. And it's even worse because we don't have video going right now. So it's like, wait, is he waiting for me to say something? Holy shit, that was like a roller coaster of emotions.
EA, Battlefront 2. And is there any way to fix their image? That's the next story we're going to be talking about. It's from The Verge. And holy crap, there's a lot of quotes. There's a lot of reading. Bear with us here. Okay, so first things first, we're talking to Patrick Söderlund in this Verge article. He is the chief over there. He is the CEO of EA. So he is the top dog talking about what happened to Battlefront 2 and what's happening to their image right now, because I think it's safe to say, Kyle, they're in the worst position they've been in when it comes to reputation.
Uh-huh.
So with that, he is quoted by saying this. And actually, this is our next segment, Entering the Paddy Wagon, brought to you by Nintendo Talk. Or Mr. Nintendo Talk, sorry. So, as we enter the Paddy Wagon says this. I'd be lying to you if I said that what's happening with Battlefront and what's happened with everything surrounding loot boxes and these things haven't had an effect on EA as a company and has affected us as management. He explains, as we shy away from it and pretend like it didn't happen, or we act responsibly and realize that we made mistakes and try to rectify and learn from those mistakes. So he's saying, hey, listen, we're trying to be upfront about this, right? Yeah, we made mistakes with Battlefront, and we're coming out here and we're saying, yeah, we fucked up. Now, he goes back in talking about people coming back to Battlefront 2, saying, we've made significant steps as a company to review and understand the mechanics around monetization, loot boxes, and other things in our games before they go to market. He says, for games that come next for Battlefield and for Anthem, that's right, we're talking about Anthem, players have made it very clear that we can't afford to make similar mistakes, and we won't. So right here, Spark notes, he's vouching, we're not going to do this ever again, right? We've learned from our mistakes. We overreached. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the third thing here. It's clear to us that players see the company different than we do. And this is a huge quote right here. He says that the situation as a member of the executive team, as a guy who runs all the studios, I have to take that seriously. And we have to continue to listen and understand what's triggering that. We have to be very cautious of what we do. But Söderlund acknowledges that the company's actions, not its words, will make a true difference. So that's all the quotes I have for this, and it's really telling. I think the most powerful quote is, it's clear to us that players see the company different than we do, that there's a disconnect. You know, EA looks at themselves in the mirror. It's like the shallow Hal effect, right? They see themselves as this awesome company trying to do great things and trying to be a company, trying to make profits. But we as gamers see them for what I think we truly see them as, and that is a company trying to make money and not trying to hide it. We see them as a machine rather than trying to talk to us like people. So, Kyle, I have a question for you.
Sure.
How do you see them as a company? I've talked too much. You take the floor.
Oh, boy. Well, I think the way he explained it is how I saw EA. And them worrying way too much about money, not really listening to what we want from them. Just for like an example, I love me some sports games. Madden has been grossly the same for years now, with very small incremental upgrades to the base game. And I will not be buying it this year unless they show something off at E3 that shows that they're listening. That's the whole thing. I want to know that EA is listening to what we're saying.
And
from these quotes, it sounds like this is a tipping point where they might say they never do it again, but I need action. I need to actually physically see and mentally know that they're going to actually put these thoughts into action.
Now, are you I got multiple questions for you, buddy.
Sure. All right. And
are you a person that would buy Madden on a yearly basis or bi-yearly basis?
yes, I'm the person that would buy it on launch day.
Okay.
Very much for the career modes
Right.
and franchise stuff.
So,
And it's been the same.
and so with that, what do you
Yeah.
think they need to do and able to prove to you that they've changed? Like when it comes to Madden.
Yeah, I want them to see what the other developers who are making sports titles are doing, namely 2K, Sony San Diego with MLB The Show,
Right.
and see how they're innovating year after year, and the time and effort put into these modes, and it's not just a reskin.
Right.
Like they actually like tweak franchise modes, they tweak gameplay mechanics, so like everything feels more like you're actually playing the sport. Like I don't want my linebackers to tackle 20 yards down the field. That's not realistic. Someone diving 20 yards or jumping 15 feet in the air to intercept the ball.
I gotta let you know that has been recorded. Someone has done that, and I have their name right here actually.
Yeah.
So
Who is
fact checked you? Okay. A person by the name of Shuhei Yoshida.
Well, Shuhei is a god, so that doesn't count.
Hallelujah. All right, continue.
Yeah, it's just I just want them to realize that they're maybe not publicly acknowledge that other developers are doing great things in these games, but like I want them to actually see what they're doing and try to implement that in their own stuff.
Yeah, I get you. I get where you're coming at. And
but even when it comes with like fan service stuff, maybe not specifically Madden.
Yeah.
Like the fact that we got Crash trilogy and the Spyro trilogy remastered.
That's awesome.
Why won't EA put the Mass Effect trilogy on PS4 and Xbox One?
It's true.
I like everyone else is doing it, and to great success in terms of the fan reaction. Why is EA so against that?
And I think this goes even further to say, look, EA had the best year last year. Even with the critical reception to Battlefront 2 and the microtransaction fiasco, which, first of all, I need to let know, loot boxes are back in the game. They are cosmetic only. But again, they are cosmetic, and people do not have a problem with them, from what I hear. So, with that said, though, they had a real rough year with those microtransactions, and with the closing of Visceral Games, and the troubling reports we're hearing from Anthem right now that it's all hands on deck. Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah.
Holy crap, what a hit and a miss. And then even treating those fans who did enjoy it and barely fixed the game and then just abandoned it. So, yeah, it's hard for me to say you're doing the right thing, because right here, our good friend, the glorious one himself, Mr. Moody Asks, has a way out, proven to EA that linear storytelling games can have and can be a success. A Way Out and Faye, which is a great game. Zoink, they're amazing. Go buy that game and go buy A Way Out, because from what we see, Joseph Ferris, that game is doing gangbusters. These games are, EA does not make a single cent when it comes to these indie games, right? They put out Faye as a passion of theirs, right? They funded, they helped put that game on the map.
Much like the game Unravel.
Yeah, much like the game Unraveled, much even like Mirror's Edge. They're like, here are these games, and still we're apprehensive about them, because though that is awesome that they've done it, I think the problem with me is it's not you, though. I think, people see you now as venomous, and they see you for every action you do. People are going to think the nefarious reason of why you're doing it.
Yeah.
And so, like, for Faye, and as much as I love that game, I'm like, oh, EA's doing it because, they want to look like a good guy.
Yep.
That's the first thing you think.
Yeah.
And again, that game, who knows where it would be without EA, but that's the first thing a customer like myself thinks. And
to go with the question that Mr. Moody asked,
yeah,
when EA looks at A Way Out, I can guarantee, or at least in my mind, I think that they're thinking, oh man, we should have redid the deal. Like, we're not seeing a cent from this, and it's selling like crazy. I guarantee that they regret not having a hand in that.
And see, here's the biggest thing about that too. So Way Out has sold over 1 million units worldwide in the first 2 weeks of this game being out.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. And I think, again, what you just said, it's like we're thinking the nefarious thing. We don't have any proof to really think that, but we think it. And so to me, what EA really needs to do is, to be completely honest, as much as this, I appreciate this, but you need to shut the fuck up and you need to do work.
Yeah.
Because this is a lot of talk. And even the last line, you're like, it's by the company's actions and not its words that will make the true difference. Make the true difference. Maybe when Anthem comes out, we don't have microtransactions even at the start of this game. How about that? Yeah. Maybe you go back there, not because I want it and I need it, but maybe you go back and you make Dead Space because people want it, right? And you just make games, and instead of having these robotic E3 press conferences that are just so manufactured. I don't get, who the fuck are these sports guys on stage? I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
Get them out. Who's that fucking YouTuber with my mom's denim jacket on, talking about Need for Speed, stuttering at every word? Please get him out. Get Joseph Ferris on there. You saw, that was the highlight to that fucking E3 conference, because he was passionate. You saw he loved it. Fuck the Oscars. That guy has passion and love, and probably a lot of cocaine in his system. So, like, get these people on stage. Get the developers. I do not give a shit about a sports commentator. Bring the Madden team up there. Tell them why they love their games. That's what you do.
Yeah, it's and I know it's probably asking too much to see a change, like, as far as this E3 goes.
Yeah,
because I'm sure it's been finalized for months. But maybe even just a line or two, like at the end of the show, and maybe just a logo splash of something that we really want.
Yeah.
But I'm really interested in future E3s and future conferences that E3 does. Not E3, EA does.
Yeah.
And like when I was younger, EA games were like my main go-to.
Yeah.
Like, and the success of the EA Big brand that gave us SSX, that whole series.
Bring it back.
Oh my god! If I will forgive EA if they come out and say SSX is coming back.
Yeah, coming back in a big way.
Yeah, it's like in the PS2 one way. The PS3 game was fine, but it's not the SSX game that I want. But like, just show us that you're listening. That's what I want. The talking needs to stop. We need to see results.
Yep. I feel you 110%. Last week, we're going to move aside from EA. Last week, we talked about Kingdom Hearts for like a nanosecond.
Yep.
And then I was wondering to myself, if I was Shu, when's Kingdom Hearts 3 coming out? Because we got a whole lot of news coming from Square Enix, coming about Kingdom Hearts. We're getting all this information. We just found out that there's like a mini game inside. I don't give a shit. I don't care.
What a weird trailer for me to watch.
I didn't even watch it. I'm going to be real with you, Kyle. When's this game coming out? That's what I want to know.
They're still saying this year.
This year.
If they keep saying this year, it's got to be November. That's why there isn't anything big there yet.
So, again, we talked about it a little bit, and I know we're treading past ground here, but yeah, Kingdom Hearts, man, it needs to come out. And I know Shuhei Yoshida, listen, again, he is the VP of Sony Sony Interactive Entertainment Worldwide Studios. And we know he secretly runs PlayStation. And man, the whole kit and caboodle as well. Probably the Illuminati. So with that, yeah, he doesn't run Square Enix, but Sony does have a very strong partnership
Yeah.
with Square Enix and a strong relationship with the Kingdom Hearts series because the majority, or not majority, all of the main titles have been on Sony platforms. So with that said, we have Spider-Man in September.
Yep.
We have Call of Duty in October. We have
Red Dead.
Red Dead in October, or late October.
Yeah.
3 titles right off the bat that are one's an exclusive, 2 are marketed like they're exclusives.
And you got to think Battlefield's in that time frame too.
And yeah, Battlefield as well is in there. So, okay, where is Kingdom Hearts 3 landing? You think it's in November? That's very bullish because of Red Dead. Do you think Kingdom Hearts can go toe-to-toe with Red Dead?
I believe I said this on a past episode.
Okay.
But I think the one franchise that can go head-to-head with Red Dead is Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
I think the fan base for both games are very different. Mm-hmm. And I think they both can thrive being out around the same time.
Okay.
And for gamers that play everything like yourself and me, I'm going to buy both regardless.
Is this going to have a special edition console? Doing something new here? Because I forgot. Evil Joe, again, made me forget.
Yeah. He's
laughing over there. Sean Capri is like, yeah, we did talk about this last week. But do you think this is going to be a special edition console?
I don't, and something tells me, Joe.
Okay.
And I know Evil Joe over there is sitting behind you is going to be really happy when I say this.
Uh-oh.
I feel like Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to get the marketing on Xbox.
Well, here's the thing.
Something about me, something in my heart is saying that Microsoft is pulling a hell of a lot of strings to try to like shove Kingdom Hearts down our throats and saying, hey, it's on Xbox with the green and everything.
Yeah, and I think Evil Joe got very excited because now he has a reason to not just be at the home screen of an Xbox and actually put a disc in there and play it and then, start talking about how Game Pass is amazing.
I mean, it would also make sense because all signs are pointing, or not all signs, it's confirmed. Yeah. But Red Dead has the Sony marketing.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to let your heart at ease, and Evil Joe will continue to plot. So far, every time we see a Kingdom Hearts trailer, and please let me know if I'm wrong out there, this year, we see the PlayStation logo at the end. So I think I think they'd be very churlish if they try to forsake
on us?
the Shuhei.
Yeah.
If I was Shuhei, I'd be very disrespected.
Well, but then again, Final Fantasy 15 was on Microsoft stage at E3.
That is true.
And that was a huge, to the child in me, that was a huge fuck you, Kyle.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy has been a PlayStation thing, minus the old school Nintendo stuff.
But here's the thing, Shu's very cunning because when they saw that, right?
Yeah.
He's you hear the Red Wedding music play in Shu's fucking head, right? He's like, don't you fucking ever. And he gives him a handshake. He's like, okay, all right, have a nice one. Hey, hope everything goes well on that Xbox conference stage. And then what happens? Well, it looks like the boss fight glitches out, and it's a very big, embarrassing moment. So, fool me once, shame on Shu. Fool me twice. As Shu would say, you're a fucking dead man. On to the next bit of news. Destiny Warmine DLC announced for May 8th. We don't know too much information other than that there's going to be new enemies, new places to explore, and in the smallest font possible by Polygon, there's going to be seasonal Crucible rankings, private matches, vault space increases, multi-emotes. Literally, this font is in 3. It is, holy crap. Exotic weapon masterworks, seasonal vendor progression. Great, because the first thing I want to hear is seasonal vendor progression.
That really gets, the blood flowing.
You know what? I'm not even going to read the rest of it. Ruin my fucking eyes. Is Destiny 2 dead in the water, dude?
I don't give a shit about it right now.
I'm done. I really think
I don't even own it anymore. I traded it away.
I'm fed up. I'm like, again, vendor program. Who the fuck? Get it out of the game. Nobody wants this. I love Destiny. Like, nobody, if I had the camera on, I'd show you the little ghost figurine I got. Okay?
Yep.
Again, I got Zur over there. All right? I love Destiny. I love Bungie. I want to fucking love them. It's kind of like that ex-girlfriend that cheated on you with your best friend, right? That never happened. But still, it hurts. And I'm done. Like, I have no interest. I don't care about it anymore. Because there's so many other games to play. Like, Fortnite is a way better game that respects my time way more than your stupid fucking game. Because I'm sorry. Again, there's a lot of passion right here. But Fortnite, weekly updates, right?
Yeah.
Weekly. Hey, the servers were down for a day. Here's a free item. You know, here's a new weapon every single week. Balance changes, introducing new items. Like, it's awesome. It keeps on progressing. And then at the same time, you have the battle pass for $10. You get all these things if you work for them. It gives a sense of progression. Destiny gives me these Eververse items that I have to practically pay a limb for.
Yeah.
And with DLC, like, this DLC does nothing for me. Like, if what you have to promote is seasonal vendor space, extra space for my inventory is a thing you're gonna brag about. Private matches, which is something that should have been in the game at launch. Heroic strike modifiers, why is that here? This should just be in the game already. I'm done. And it sucks. And again, maybe I say that because I'm angry and I'm passionate, but I'm just done, man. It's sad time. With that said,
I had some good times with it, though.
You want to get hyped?
I'm ready.
All right. PlayStation 5, Andrew House gives us a big view into PlayStation's next console.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Andrew House is the ex-president of SIE, right? Sony Interactive Entertainment. He is the guy that led the march to the PlayStation 4. He is, he would be way more humble than I by saying this. He's the guy that put it on the map, right? He's the guy that approved this thing's price. He's the guy that did it all. At the end of the day, everything comes down to him. And he left earlier this year to enjoy a nice retirement. So with that said, though, he was interviewed, and I want to get the site who did this. Let me just see. Oh, Polygon. And there's a lot of quotes that I want to read because there was a rumor that was circulating that the PlayStation 5 was coming out this year.
No, I saw that. I was like, fuck off. That's not really happening.
Yeah. And then we get a confirmation that, again, hashtag Joe was right. It's coming out, looks like sometime 2020 or 2021. But we're going to get into it right here. So right off the bat, here's what... Shu. Yeah, that's the puppet Andy while Shu is behind the strings playing with it to life. So Marionette Andy House said this. In 2013, the vast majority of conventional wisdom was saying that consoles were dead. Andrew said, the whole market was moving to mobile and there was no future for this. I remember saying to myself, to use an old English metaphor, "Oi, governor, am I going to be the last governor of Hong Kong overseeing the end of consoles? Fortunately, not unfortunately, what am I saying? All these impending doom mongers were very, very wrong." He goes on to say, is there life in the PlayStation 4 and in consoles in general? He said, "I'm very bullish on longer life cycles for consoles." House said consoles are so underrepresented and so underpenetrated in many markets around the globe. There's still so much potential. Let's not forget that China is still a largely untapped source of income for these companies. Now, he goes on to saying the gap between the PlayStation 2 and the PlayStation 3 was 6 years. The PlayStation 4 arrived 7 years later. The PlayStation 4 right now is approaching its 5th birthday. Industry speculation generally pegs the PlayStation 5 as coming out at around 2020 or 2021. Now he goes on to ask this question, which we were talking about a few weeks ago. Remember when we said there's going to be discs are going to still be a thing? You're going to be using those optical drives still?
Yeah.
I don't have a firm knowledge on this, but my sense is that you will see the disc around the industry for a while. He said, if you're going to tap into some of these developing markets, then allowing for a more traditional physical purchase model as an option is probably no bad thing. So what he's saying there, Kyle, is that places like China, places even here in the United States, right, Midwest,
like my house,
like your house, won't allow us to see our faces. God damn it.
Yep.
But these markets, they don't have the best internet. Physical media is still very important. Now,
and that makes me very happy.
Very, very happy indeed. Howe said that cloud streaming of games will likely be a significant factor in the next generation of consoles. He goes into streaming by saying this. If you look back at the console gaming generation, there are certain inflection points that allow the industry to be upended and for new participants to emerge. He said one of those is when you have a wholesale shift in the distribution method. In content-based industries, that is... and what is creating barriers of entry for people to come in. So other than technical challenges, there's no reason why game streaming can't be presented in games the same way that we see in music, film, and television industries. The evidence I draw on was the original launch of the PlayStation. That wasn't based on 3D graphics alone. The vision to shift to an expensive cartridge to a more accessible, cheaper discs, dropping that barrier allowed developers to take more risks. Streaming could be the next inflection point, but the business model has to be thought through. This is the most curious message here. We talk about Game Pass. I know I'm not being an asshole when I say this. No sarcasm. Fucking great service.
Uh-huh.
It needs more work, obviously. It needs more games. But it's fucking great. PlayStation Now? Well, we have a question about that later. Not that great, but we see this one sentence at the end. Streaming could be the inflection point, but this business model has to be thought through. So he acknowledges the PS Now is not... It's going to get reworked. Yeah, it's not where it needs to be. And Sony is trying to figure out where it needs to be. With all this...
You got to remember, when PS4 was revealed, the whole Gaikai streaming thing was a huge part of that presentation.
Yeah, everybody was freaking out about it.
So they were all in on this, so of course they're going to try to make it work.
Yep. So with all this said and done, Kyle, all this information I just flew at you, what was the most telling... what can you tell in general about the PlayStation 5, where it is right now? Where do you think it's going in the future? Like, what does these quotes speak to you? How do they speak to you?
Right off the bat, I do feel like it's a long way away still.
Okay.
I mean, it's obvious to me that, of course, they've been talking about the PS5, whatever comes next. Yeah. I'm very, very happy to hear that he feels that physical media will still be around. Because let's be honest, that is, for most of us, that is the best way to get our games.
Right.
But that streaming thing, to be on the same level as music, film, and television,
still has a ways to go.
It still has a ways to go, but it makes me hopeful that in the future it could very much be like Netflix, where it's like a quick load up and it's there.
So my next question to you is, PlayStation Now, we've talked about how we fix it.
Yeah.
Is it now a foreseeable thing? Again, it needs to be thought through. This is saying that Andrew House thinks, again, maybe I'm reading too much into it. Didn't think he nailed it on the first try. Do you think we're going to get another go-around of PlayStation Now? Do you think that's coming sooner, or do you think that's coming with the PlayStation 5?
I think we will get a new version of it, if you will, but it won't be until the next console reveal. Yeah. I think that's the smart way to do it.
Yeah, and I honestly think again, we'll leave PlayStation Now bleeding, and it sucks. We'll leave it forgotten. But when the PlayStation 5 comes around, I think that is the big push. Yeah. I think that is the thing that defines this console. Is, hey, if you have the internet, here's the streaming service.
Yeah.
And now you don't have to have everything loaded onto a hard drive, or you can have that option to have it loaded onto a hard drive, or you can have it streaming and it's saved to the cloud.
Yeah.
And we see that with the cloud saves so far with PS Plus, which are really, really amazing. Not a lot of people talk about. And yeah, I think this is confirmed to me all the things we were saying a few episodes back of what the PlayStation 5 is gonna be. Mm-hmm. And I think this is awesome to us. It's kind of vindicating to me. That's why I bring it up of what it is about this console when it's coming out. I think I don't like to toot my own horn here. I think we hit it on the head. Mm-hmm. So with that, that's what Andy House has to say. But who knows?
Yeah.
Again, there's a new guy in charge. Still Shuhei. Mm-hmm. Our next story, Shenmue 1 and 2 remasters are coming this year. This is coming from Sega, and this is an article from GameSpot. And it will be, this remaster collection of 1 and 2 will be made by Sega. It is not by the creator or Sony that is Shenmue 3 is going to be published by. $29.99. Kyle, we talked about that these games aren't for us.
Yeah.
Is this enough to maybe say, try it out?
Yeah, it makes me interested, especially for $30. You get 2 games that people are so madly in love with. I'm super, super happy for everyone that is hyped up for this.
Same.
Because I know these games hold a special place in a lot of gamers' hearts.
Yeah.
Going back to like when they revealed the Shenmue 3 Kickstarter at E3.
Seeing
oh my god, one of my favorite E3 conference watch-alongs I've ever seen is the game trailers one.
Oh my god.
Is when they freaked out over this in the Final Fantasy VII remaster.
Yeah.
And just seeing people love games like this makes me happy. So I'm very, very excited for everyone to play it.
Yeah. Same here. Can I get a Hallelujah on that one?
Hallelujah.
There you go. And I got another Hallelujah coming for you. A new Bioshock game in the works? Question mark.
Hallelujah. Praise Shu.
Oh my god, he is good and he works wonders. Let me tell you something here. 2K, there was a story by Kotaku. I'm just going to breeze over it because we're going over time here. But Jason Schreier over there at Kotaku says that there is a secret team working on a secret Bioshock game. Mm-hmm. We'll go into it a little bit.
Well, before you begin, I love that Jason Schreier, he tweeted out like, "Oh, watch out or stay tuned. There's a big story that I'm going to post soon," and it was all about the Mafia 3 development and that team. And this was like in the footnotes of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's like, oh yeah. By the way,
how is this not the bigger story?
It is. It really is. So, Ken Levine, he is the creator of this series. We don't know if he's working on it. Probably not.
He has his own studio now.
He does. So, Bioshock Infinite was not my favorite game, and Bioshock 2 was not my favorite in the series. Bioshock 1 really was, to me, the definitive game in the series. My hype level for this, though, I'm pretty excited. I just feel like 2K, I hope, has learned from their mistakes with Infinite and with 2. I gotta say, I'm excited. I'm a little nervous. Yeah. But you sound way more excited. So
I loved Infinite.
Yeah?
Infinite was the one Bioshock game, and please don't hurt me. It's the only Bioshock game that I finished.
Okay. No, I'm not going to hate you.
And I just love the aesthetic of it so much.
Okay.
And the setting of Columbia.
I mean, there's a little resentment, but I don't know. All right.
But that's the thing Bioshock does well, is the setting. Like Rapture, Columbia, both great worlds for games to be in.
Definitely.
So if whoever is developing this new one, if they could nail that, I think they're on a pretty good start.
Do you think this goes back to Rapture, or do you think this is somewhere new?
I kind of want it to go somewhere new.
Okay. So we've done the sea, we've done the sky. Is it time to go on?
Pick another lighthouse. Pick another lighthouse.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
No?
No.
You didn't did you not finish Infinite?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well, spoilers. There are a bunch of different lighthouses, and each lighthouse
Oh.
takes you to a different Bioshock-esque world. It's been a while since I played, but
Okay. Yeah, no, it's been a
yeah.
while here. I think we can spoil it. Who cares? I don't care. Uh, some person's gonna write it. You guys are awful. Yeah, no,
Well,
I played.
again,
Yeah,
spoilers for Infinite. They end up in Rapture at the end.
yeah, it's even in the DLC. So
Yeah.
yeah, if you're mad about that, be mad at their marketing team because they
Sorry.
saw it. Viewer mail. Does PlayStation finally do something? This comes from Secret Friends Unite. Secret Friends Unite. Todd
Why so
Oxtra.
secret?
What's that?
Why so secret? Secret Friends Unite.
Well, we don't want everybody to know, or else it loses its special flair.
True.
So Todd Oxtra from Secret Friends Unite writes in saying, does PlayStation finally do something about backwards compatibility? So far, PS1 and 2 games are MIA on the PlayStation 4, and PS Now is too expensive, and that only covers PlayStation 3 games. So I think we've covered PlayStation Now enough.
Yeah.
I think that is dead until, the next iteration of PlayStation hardware. When it comes to PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1 games, where do you think this falls? Do you think they're going to do backwards compatibility? Do you think it's overhyped? What are your feelings?
I think it's not overhyped. I think it's something that we should be able to do. But I think when it comes to the PS5 and the streaming thing that Andy House was alluding to, I think that's where you'll see it in the next console. But that being said, for now, for the PS4 now, we'll still get the classics and that you can buy in the store, and they're great for what they are.
Yeah.
They get trophies in them, which
But
is
I
great.
could put my 360 games in my Xbox One.
Sure, you could do that, but we're over here eagerly awaiting God of War, which is apparently a masterpiece.
So, my response to that, without trying to be an asshole, again, it's hard because I am an asshole. So, PlayStation Now, what an opinion for myself. PlayStation Now, I get it. It's not great. I think when we take a look at streaming, I think what you said is really awesome. I don't think, maybe I'm wrong, Todd. Maybe someone could tell me I'm an asshole online. They do it all the time anyway. But I don't think the optical drive could read those discs.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know these things. So I think there might be technical limitations in the way, but there is a PlayStation 2 emulator on the PlayStation 4. So I think it's a goddamn shame that we don't have at least backwards compatibility between 2 and 4 because, again, there's an emulator on it. That's why we could play the PlayStation 2 games to 4. Again, maybe there's a technical limitation that it's more complicated than how we make it seem. You know, a lot of people, again, like to just throw stones, and I don't know the answers to it, so I can't demonize them, but I can't at the same time go, well, it's so easy because I'm not an engineer. So when we talk about PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 games, I think the best way to do that is to have that Game Pass like feature in the new PlayStation Now, whenever that is, and have it so these games are running on a cloud. And because they're not as technically demanding, I think it's going to make it easier.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the way that they're going to do backwards compatibility, because I do think PlayStation needs to do it, because the more people start talking about it, the more bad press. And with the PlayStation brand being so great, you don't want any bad press, right? Kind of watering it down. With that said, and I'm going to be completely honest, and I know it's an unpopular opinion because I'm Mr. Unpopular Opinion, we've done backwards compatibility before with the PlayStation 3, and I like what the CEO of Sony Europe said. It's like, at the end of the day, we're a business, and it wasn't profitable.
Yeah.
Less than 5% of the user base actually used it. And so I think backwards compatibility is a bigger thing that we're letting on, and I think backwards compatibility is important, and I'm not saying it's, whatever, but when we take a look at like retro titles that are 2D, like the SNES, Sega Genesis, I think those age better than, let's just say, a Spyro or Shadow of the Colossus, and I think those games would do better if they are actually remade and aren't free masters. They're actually remastered to fit the status quo, because I've gone back to some PlayStation 2 games. Oh boy, that's rough. And
Yeah.
again, I'm not every gamer. I can only speak for myself. So with that said, Kyle, I talked a lot in this episode. I'm so sorry.
Don't apologize.
There's
That's
so
fine.
many quotes. There's so many quotes.
Well, in all fairness, you picked the stories. You picked the
did.
two long things.
I did. I really did. With that said, though, guys, thank you so much. Thank you, Todd, for mailing in. Thank you, Mr.
Yes,
Moody,
thank you.
for mailing in. Robert Miller, you still need to tweet at PS Trophy Room to get your copy of God of War, or else I'm going to give it away to someone else.
Come on, Robert. Don't you want it?
You gotta. You have until Thursday, 11:59. Message me either at Mr. Badbit or at the PS Trophy Room. If not, then I'm just gonna announce it on Twitter the night of, and then I'll shake up the box again. I'm gonna throw it to somebody out there. And with that said, guys, gang, follow us on PS Trophy Room. The Trophy Room is on Twitter. If you follow us, you are then enrolled in the giveaway of all giveaways. That is Detroit Become Human. That comes out in May. So I think we said May 17th we'll announce the winner. So you have weeks, but that doesn't mean you wait last minute. Get on it ASAP. So with that said, again, thank you for our producers over there at patreon.com/makeusbetter, where you do make us better week in, week out. It is the reason why we're on SoundCloud. It's the reason why we're on iTunes. It's the reason why we sound so good on iTunes and Google Play and all those podcast services. Again, sorry for no video for the YouTube folks. Comcast didn't want to be nice to us. So, goddamn you, Comcast. Goddamn you to hell. And with that, you can find me at Mr. Badbit, but more importantly, the Trophy Room at PS Trophy Room on Twitter. Kyle, anything you gotta say?
No, you can just follow me at WhoDatNinja73. I won't plug anything else other than go support Kelsey.
Yes, I was gonna
at
say,
her stream on Sunday. Kelsey Lynn 1031 on Twitch. Doing a stream for a great cause, and you should totally tune in. Also, just a little PSA, something I forgot to mention when we were talking God of War. Something Greg Miller said on Gamescast today is, since we are all about PlayStation, all about hunting those trophies, do not look at the trophy list because it spoils the game.
What? I hate that.
So please, if you're listening to this and you haven't done so already, the trophy list is up. Do not look at it because it's going to ruin the experience.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to throw that out there.
No, thank you so much, Kyle, for doing that. With all that said, and with all of that out of the way, everybody, happy hunting and keep playing PlayStation.
See ya.